On behalf of Monmouth College and MTC Communications, welcome to the 6th Annual Fighting Scot Awards. We're living during unusual time in world history, but will not let that overwhelm the accomplishments of our Fighting Scots student athletes. While we cannot physically be together in Doll Chapel tonight to celebrate these accomplishments in person, our technical staff at Monmouth College have gone to great lengths to bring you tonight's awards. Tonight's awards could not happen without the support of MTC Communications, which supports events such as the Fighting Scot Awards, the Fighting Scot Golf Outing, which we hope to host later this summer, and so much more. To MTC Communications, we say thank you for your support. Before we begin with the main program, I'd like to turn the mic over to Monmouth College President Clarence Wyatt for a few opening comments.
Thank you, Coach Haynes, and good evening, Fighting Scots! As we all know, we're living in an unusual time in world history. We all have had to adapt our personal lives, our work, our classroom activities, and yes, even our athletics to the world in which we now live. But we will get through this together. When it became apparent that the remainder of the spring semester would take place in your homes rather than on campus, our senior staff made the decision to replicate as many of our spring traditions as possible, including the Fighting Scots Awards ceremony. I couldn't be more proud of how everyone has adapted, and I am just as anxious as you are to return to a more familiar level of normalcy as conditions improve. We'll eventually be back in the classrooms, on the field, on the courts. Our teams will pick up where they left off. Tonight we celebrate the accomplishments, both athletic and academic, of our Fighting Scots teams. Lobie and I are looking forward to seeing all of you back on campus and to see all that you will do this fall as noble Fighting Scots. Congratulations to everyone. Thank you.
MTC Communications would like to extend our congratulations, appreciation, and support of the Monmouth Fighting Scots athletes and community at this 2020 annual awards ceremony. We are here today to acknowledge the Fighting Scots' sacrifice, flexibility, and hard work as we face this unique challenge that has interrupted our regular routines as well as our treasured traditions. I would like to commend you all for your strength, courage, and determination as you continue to uphold the Fighting Scots' high standards and congratulate you on your hard work this year.
At each Midwest Conference championship event, the league recognizes the student athlete at the championships with the highest grade point average. Monmouth quickly earned the award in the fall when Aspen Chatterton of the women's soccer team was named the conference's Elite 20 winner. Congratulations, Aspen. We all know our playing days will eventually come to a close, and at that point, we need to combine the skills developed in the classroom and on the field to succeed in our chosen profession. Our student athletes are well prepared for the future. Scots student athletes earned over 150 individual academic all-conference honors by earning at least a 3.3 grade point average. Our student athletes also made the grade on the national level, where 30 national individual academic honors were earned. But it wasn't just an individual effort. 8 teams earned National Team Academic Awards in the past year. Our first athletic award of the evening will be presented for Breakthrough Athlete or Team. Nominees in this category are recognized for their single-minded doggedness. They have maintained the focus for the betterment of themselves and their team, but the performance is not the end of the journey, it's only the beginning. The nominees are Men's Cross Country, November 2nd, 2019, the Midwest Conference Championships. Monmouth's men surprised the field, turning in 3 all-conference efforts, including a runner-up finish by Griff Morrell to take second place at the championships, just 4 points out of first place. Women's Basketball, February 29th, 2020, Midwest Conference Tournament Championship Season. Monmouth's women earned their first trip to the NCAA tournament in 8 years and a hard-fought win over defending and regular season champion Ripon. The Scots defeated the Redhawks 3 times during the season, but none were as sweet as the title game to earn the NCAA berth. Izzy Baltierra Chavez, Women's Cross Country and Women's Soccer. Izzy finished 7th at last fall's Midwest Conference Cross Country Championships to earn her first All-Conference award. Doing double duty in the fall as a starter for the women's soccer team, she helped the team earn their first trip to the NCAA Championships. Men's Soccer, the 2019 season. The men returned to the Midwest Conference Tournament for the first time since 2001. With 10 seniors on the team, the squad rolled to a 9-win season, the most since 1996 and the second most in program history to punch their postseason. Shane Herkert, Men's Lacrosse. Herkert became Monmouth's highest ever all-conference honoree in 2019, earning second-team honors. He continued his stellar play in 2020, leading a defensive unit that ranked number 1 in man-down defense and 15th overall before the season was cut short. Kyle Jones, Swimming. Kyle's sophomore year ended with a bang at this season's Midwest Conference meet. In just his second season, he won the conference title in the 100 breaststroke, coming from the 4th place position to touch first with a winning time that was just 23 one-thousandths of a second off the school record. And the winner is Women's Basketball, the 2019-20 season.
I'm excited to accept this award for Breakthrough Team on behalf of our players and our program. I'm very proud of the effort that they put in over the last 12 months to be able to put themselves in a position to win the conference tournament, win a program best 21 games along the way. We couldn't have done it without the individual effort of each and every one of our players. We knew that we could count on different people each night when we needed somebody to step up in a key situation. So I'm very excited for our kids, for them to be recognized for what they were able to accomplish this year.
The Comeback Athlete Award pays tribute to the pain and hard work student athletes must endure after facing difficult circumstances, most often an injury. We think of the many hours spent in the training room rehabbing an injury. We may forget that it's mental toughness that each injured student athlete must possess to complete that journey. Our nominees are Macaulay Johnston, football. The defensive lineman missed all of the 2018 season after sustaining a preseason injury which required a new shoulder socket. Johnston came back in 2019 to record 13 solo tackles and 26 total stops, helping the Scots to another Midwest Conference title. Devin Cross, women's soccer. The forward midfielder tore her ACL in the middle of the 2018 season, forcing her to miss the final third of the season and all but one conference game. Cross came back in 2019 to become the team's third leading scorer. She was second in minutes played. Her junior campaign was capped with a first-team all-conference selection. And Jeff Knapp, men's lacrosse. Knapp missed all but the first 3 games of the 2019 season after tearing his hamstring. Back for his junior year this spring, Knapp erased any doubt he had missed a beat and ended the spring season on the team with 15 goals and 16 points. And the winner is Macaulay Johnston.
I'd just like to say thank you for nominating me for Comeback Athlete of the Year. This truly does mean a lot to me, especially considering in August I didn't know if I was going to be able to play this season. I'd also like to say thank you to my coaches, especially Coach Russell, for believing in me and not letting me give up and giving me the ability to be able to play this season. Lastly, I'd also like to thank Bob Foster, who worked with me to be able to rehab my shoulder and get me to a place where I would be able to play.
The Scots laid claim to 3 conference team titles in the 12 months since we last met for the Fighting Scots Awards. 22 individuals and relay conference titles were claimed, and more than 50 other conference awards were earned by the student athletes and their coaches. More awards came on the regional and national levels, where 7 Scots earned all-region honors and 4 achieved All-American status in the past year.
Each year, the Kim Mead Outstanding Female Athlete Award is given to a senior woman who is an all-around student athlete who maintains good academic standing, shows leadership on campus, and demonstrates responsibility as a student athlete. This year, we have 4 outstanding candidates. The nominees are Laura Dooley from volleyball and softball. There may be no student athlete that has been involved in and excelled in more diverse areas of academics and athletics than Laura. She has been a member of the Student Athletic Advisory Committee, served as president in 2018, and served as captain of the volleyball and softball teams. She has been a Lincoln Laureate finalist, a Midwest Scholar, and a 2-time National Fast Pitch Coaches Association All-American Scholar Athlete. Number 2, Caitlin Allen from women's cross country. Caitlin was the reason our team clicked, said Coach John Welty in his nomination letter. Caitlin took on a huge leadership role and guided the team to work as one cohesive unit. She also took on leadership positions in honor societies while maintaining a high GPA. Number 3 is Kara Jade Gordon from women's lacrosse and women's soccer. KJ's actions speak for themselves, leading the women's soccer team to their first conference tournament title and NCAA berth. The leading scorer on both the soccer and lacrosse team, KJ, helped both programs set the foundation of excellence for future teams. Our 4th nominee, Becca Gallus from women's basketball and softball. Becca's vocal leadership this year helped put the basketball program over the top and earned her the program's first Midwest Conference Player of the Year award along the way. Becca exhibited the most selfless act of leadership I've seen from a player during this year's tournament semifinal, said Coach Kyle Wilson in his nomination letter. Knowing that a loss would end her career, she held herself out of the game after an early injury because she felt her teammates would help the team more. And the winner is Laura Dooley, volleyball and softball.
Hi, thank you so much for nominating me for this Kim Mead Female Athlete Award. I want to give a huge thanks to Coach Goddard, Coach Tebow, Coach Schmidt, and Coach Murdoch just for all the encouragement and drive over the years to just be a better athlete and to be a better student. I also want to give a huge thank you to my teammates. You guys truly have made just being a student athlete just one of the best things about going to college. And so I just want to say thank you to them for making just all the late nights and time in the gym just totally worth it. Also thank you to the athletic department for just making Monmouth College is such a good place to be and a great opportunity to play sports. This really has been a great opportunity just to be able to do what I love with the people that have now grown to mean the most to me. So thank you, and roll Scots.
Entering a situation as the underdog isn't necessarily a bad thing. The extra motivation, focus, and adrenaline that many times gives teams that needed boost. A good game plan and execution of that plan doesn't hurt either. Our Upset of the Year nominees had all of that come together to land on our list. This year's nominees are football, September 28th, 2019 versus St. Norbert. The Scots picked off 6 passes and took a 31-7 first quarter lead over the previously 25th ranked St. Norbert Green Knights. Monmouth went on to win 34-14 in the first of 2 meetings last year with St. Norbert. Men's lacrosse, February 11th, 2020 versus Augustana. The Scots helped to close the gap in 2020 from a 13-goal loss the year prior. They did that and more, scoring an 8-7 win over the Vikings as Thomas Van Alstyne scored a hat trick to help the Scots build a 3-goal lead and then hold on in the final 4 minutes. Women's soccer, September 12th, 2019 versus Webster. Facing the 6th-ranked team in the Central Region at the time, Monmouth's women posted a 3-2 overtime win against the Gorlocks for their first ever win over Webster. Trailing 2-1 in the second half, Kara Jade Gordon sent the game into OT with her first goal of the game, setting the stage for Ezzy Baltierra Chavez's game winner in the extra session. And women's soccer, November 9th, 2019, the Midwest Conference Champions game versus Knox. The women completed an amazing year, although they had to play through 2 overtimes and a penalty kick shootout to put the cherry on top. Locked in a scoreless tie at the end of regulation, Nick Rizzo's women came out on the top of a 3-2 final in the penalty kick shootout. And the winner is women's soccer defeats Knox for the NCAA berth.
The women's soccer team is really excited to be nominated for the Upset of the Year for our penalty kick shootout win in the conference championship game against Knox College. It was a great game, a great battle for both teams. Defense, everyone played incredibly well. Ken's got 3 big PK saves in the shootout. Yadi, Michaela, and Hayden really nailed their penalties to give us a good chance to win the school their first conference tournament championship in history. And it's a moment we'll remember forever and are really excited to build on it going into next season.
Our next award recognizes the best singular moment that took place during the last year. These moments can't be scripted or predicted. They just happen. Sometimes the moment is even a series of events that lead to the improbable. The nominees for the Moment of the Year are Nick Myler, football, November 2nd, 2019 versus the University of Chicago. Leading 21-20 in overtime in a game that would determine the Midwest Conference South Division champion, Myler thwarted the Maroons' two-point conversion, coming across the field to jar the ball loose from the 6'4", 240-pound lineman-turned-receiver just inches from the goal line. Women's soccer, November 9th, 2019, overtime victory versus Knox in the Midwest Conference tournament title game. 0-5 in the last 5 games against four-time conference champion Knox, Monmouth faced the Prairie Fighter for the tournament title and automatic NCAA berth. Locked in a scoreless draw after 110 minutes of soccer, the teams faced off in the winners-takes-all penalty kick shootout. 3 goals from a sophomore and 2 freshmen, and 3 saves from Kinsey Arlt, including the clinching save on the Fire's last kick, gave the Monmouth women their first NCAA tournament berth. Women's basketball, the 2019-20 season, specifically sweeping Ripon. Monmouth's women didn't just beat defending conference regular season and tournament champion Ripon twice last season, they did it 3 times, culminating with a 74-69 win on the Redhawks' home court in the conference championship game. The tournament title gave the team their school record 21st win and sent them to the NCAA tournament. Football, The Drive, November 16th, 2019 versus St. Norbert in the Midwest Conference title game. Trailing St. Norbert 7-3 with the ball at their own 10-yard line, the Scots had no timeouts and just 55 seconds left on the clock to take the Midwest Conference crown. Chad Braun summoned freshman quarterback Carter Boyer off the bench to engineer an epic drive. 5 completions later, Jake Uraz hauled in Boyer's 5th pass of the game for a 5-yard gain and the winning touchdown. The tandem had opened the possession with a 50-yard gain to put the wheels in motion for the drive. And the winner is Football, The Drive.
Congrats to the 2019 football team for winning Moment of the Year with The Drive. First of all, I want to thank my assistant coaches for all their hard work and their effort they put in to make that drive happen. Secondly, I want to thank our defense for getting the stop, and then our offense for driving 89 yards in 53 seconds. And again, I want to thank our fans, our players, everyone for this moment. Thank you.
Sometimes great performances can be predicted, but more often than not, they do just happen. The nominees for Individual Performance of the Year are Kyle Jones, men's water polo, September 9th, 2019 versus Salem International. The sophomore turned in a school record 23 saves after facing 43 shots. That's an incredible 54% save percentage. Joe Krall, football and track and field, the 2019 football season and the 2020 indoor track season. The senior lineman who has received NFL interest capped his football career with a conference title and All-American award. Converted from a defensive to an offensive lineman 3 years earlier, Krall became one of the most dreaded blockers in the Midwest Conference and was named the Offensive Lineman of the Year. Krall was eyeing his second indoor track All-American award before the pandemic prematurely ended his track career. He had qualified for the indoor championships with the nation's second longest weight throw mark. Gordon Kiesgen, men's lacrosse, February 25th, 2020. The freshman faceoff specialist was almost perfect in a road game at Clark University. Kiesgen won 18 of his 19 faceoffs, a school record, and earned the league's Defensive Performer of the Week honor. Will Carius, men's basketball, November 22nd, 2019, at Wisconsin Whitewater. Carius hit a pair of free throws with 88 seconds left in the game to give the Scots the lead for good on their way to Monmouth's first win in program history over the Warhawks. He finished with a game-high 33 points and pulled down 11 rebounds while playing in all but 2 minutes. And the winner for Individual Performance of the Year is Joe Krall, football and track and field.
What's up, Fighting Scots? I just got done working out, as you can tell. I just want to say thank you so much for the Individual Performance Award. I couldn't have done it without really all you guys. Coaches and athletes support me day in, day out. So I just want to say thank you to that. I hope all your family is safe and well during this time, and hopefully we can get back to Fighting Scots sports pretty soon. Thank you.
You could say our championship performance nominees cover the land, the sea, and the air. We have a diverse group whose championship efforts were simply awe-inspiring. Our 6 nominees are Griff Morrell, November 2nd, 2019, men's cross country at the Midwest Conference Championships. Seeded fourth at the championships, Morrell fought through cold, wind, and a wet track to race to a runner-up finish and earn his first cross-country all-conference honor. Carter Boyer, November 16th, 2019, football versus St. Norbert for the Midwest Conference Championship. The freshman quarterback had to warm his arm in a hurry when he came off the bench, with the Scots trailing 7-3, directing the drive, a 90-yard, 5-play drive with no timeouts and 55 seconds left to pull out a 10-7 come-from-behind win. Men's indoor track and field at the Midwest Conference Championships, November 28th through 29th, 2020. For the 21st straight season, Monmouth men won the Midwest Conference Indoor Track and Field Team Championship. No other league team has a streak, indoor or outdoor, as long as the Scots. Women's basketball at the Midwest Conference Championship Tournament at Ripon, Wisconsin, February 28th through 29th, 2020. Monmouth women made it a clean sweep over defending league and tournament champion Ripon, and to make it even sweeter, win number 3 came on the Red Hawks' home court in the Midwest Conference title game. The Scots came back from a double-digit halftime deficit, shooting 60% from the floor in the fourth quarter to earn just their second tournament title and NCAA berth in program history. Football wins the Midwest Conference title over St. Norbert, November 16th, 2019. In what is becoming an annual event, Monmouth and St. Norbert met for the Midwest Conference title one more time. The Green Knights were nursing a 7-3 lead before the Scots put together the drive to win their third league crown in 5 years under head coach Chad Braun. Preston Boki swimming at the Midwest Conference Championships, February 14th through 16th, 2020. Preston's junior year ended with a stellar performance at the Midwest Conference Championship meet, where he won the 50-yard freestyle for the second straight year and followed with a title in the 100-yard backstroke. He finished the meet adding a runner-up finish in the 200 back and swimming a leg on the record-setting 800 free relay to earn the league's Outstanding Swimmer of the Meet award. And the winner is women's basketball defeats Ripon for the NCAA berth.
I'm excited to accept this award for championship performance on behalf of our players and our program. Midwest Conference Tournament was a great weekend for us to go up to Ripon and win 2 very competitive games. On Friday night to beat Cornell in the semifinal to avenge a loss from the week before, and then turn around the next night and beat Ripon on their home floor. We were able to make it 6 key free throws and get a couple key stops in the final minute of the game to seal it for us. Very happy for our kids to be recognized for their success this year and being able to get our program back to the NCAA tournament for the first time since 2012.
Tonight is bittersweet on a number of levels. We're not able to be physically together, but we can join together to recognize our more than 80 senior student athletes who have helped build the Fighting Scots legacy. As the saying goes, you cannot be replaced, but you certainly will be missed. Your senior letter plaques will be shipped to you later this summer. As is tradition, we've saved our most valued award for last, the Fighting Scot Leadership Award. Directing a game-winning drive, scoring the game-winning goal in overtime, and earning All-American status are all great things, but in the eyes of a coach, leadership is perhaps a student athlete's most valuable asset. Tonight we have 4 worthy candidates for the Fighting Scot Leadership Award. Our nominees are Campbell Quirk, baseball. Coach Alan Boterney said in his nomination letter, Campbell has been a captain for 2 years and has done a tremendous job of instilling what it means to be a Monmouth College baseball player to his teammates, most importantly to the new guys on the team. He's been a tutor in the exercise science department and is very active on campus with volunteering. Our second nominee is Laura Dooley, volleyball and softball. Said Coach John Goddard in his nomination, there's no student athlete that's been involved in and excelled in more diverse areas of academics and athletics than Laura. Among her many campus activities, she served on the Student Athlete Advisory Committee where she was president in 2018 and has been a captain for softball and volleyball. Laura is also a Lincoln Laureate finalist and a Midwest Scholar. Our third nominee, Will Carius, men's basketball. Despite an early season-ending injury, Carius remained an integral part of the men's basketball team, inspiring his teammates from his position on the bench. The senior saw the Scots roll off 7 straight wins to remain in the hunt for a conference playoff berth until the final weekend. Nominee number 4, Alika Gensler, track and field. A 4-year letter winner in track and field, Alika has been involved in many other areas of campus leadership. A 2-time conference high jump champion, she was also named an academic All-American in 2019, maintaining a grade point average well above the required 3.30 for national recognition. She's a founding member of the Education Department's Teacher Allied with Rural Towns and Neighborhood Schools program, responding to the many challenges that rural communities currently face. And the winner of the Leadership Award is Alika Gensler, track and field.
Thank you for the nomination for the Fighting Scots Leadership Award. Monmouth has given me so many opportunities to excel both in the classroom and on the track. Nothing would be possible without the support of my family, friends, teammates, professors, and Coach Haynes. The past 4 years at Monmouth has been nothing but exceptional. Thank you again, and roll Scots.
As we bring the 2020 Fighting Scot Awards to a close, we want to congratulate not only the award winners and nominees, but all of our student athletes on continuing the tradition of Fighting Scot athletics, both on and off the field. Again, a heartfelt thank you to the MTC Communications and our technical staff at Monmouth College, who without their support, tonight would not have happened. Thank you and good luck to all of you on your final exams. We look forward to seeing you in the fall.